Hello everyone, Victor is here, your organic chemistry tutor, and today I have another synthesis for you where we are going to start from the methyl cyclopentane and we are going to convert that into 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. So the first thing that jumps at me right away is that I'm going to be making a new carbon-carbon bond, and within the scope of our course there aren't that many methods that we know that make new carbon-carbon bond, especially when it is just a single carbon. One of the first method that comes to mind is going to be the Grignard reaction. But the issue here, Grignard reactions, they give me alcohols. So that means that I will have to come up with a way how to get rid of that alcohol. And while we know a lot of different methodologies that can put functional groups onto the molecule, we don't know that many that take the functional groups off our molecule. Within the scope of a sophomore organic chemistry, we certainly do not cover any methods how you can directly yeet that alcohol out of your molecule, so we'll have to come up with some sort of a way that uses the reactions that we do know. So the only reaction that comes to mind when it comes to functional group erasers, that's going to be a hydrogenation of a double or a triple bond. So if I had a predecessor to my final product that looked like this, or maybe that, or maybe something like that, then by using the hydrogenation, I can get rid of that double bond and make my final product, my target molecule. Luckily, we can easily dehydrate our alcohol and make the corresponding alkene, so it is easy for us to make that happen. Now, if we are all set with the Grignard reaction as the key step for our carbon-carbon bond making, then the predecessor for that reaction should be some sort of a ketone. In this case, if I am adding the bond over here, then it means that this carbon, the one with the red dot, that carbon must have been my carbonyl before the Grignard reaction. So I would have a ketone looking like this. Now, in order to make a carbonyl, in order to make a ketone, we actually know quite a few different methods. We know the ozonolysis that can make a ketone, we know the hydration of the alkynes, and we also know the oxidation of corresponding alcohols. In this case, probably neither ozonolysis nor reactions of alkynes are going to be at play, so the most likely predecessor to our alcohol is going to be the corresponding alcohol, which means that my ketone must have come from an alcohol looking like this. Now, one thing that I'm noticing right away is that my alcohol, my OH group, is sitting over here, which is going to be the less substituted carbon in our molecule as comparing it to, let's say, this position. So that means that I could easily put that OH onto our molecule via the hydroboration-oxidation reaction, which means that the predecessor to my alcohol must have been an alkene looking like this. And finally, we can make an alkene via the elimination reaction, and the precursors for my elimination reaction could have been either of those two generic molecules where X is some sort of a leaving group. However, I know that the starting material that I have in this reaction, just a simple alkane, and the only way I can put any kind of leaving group on that simple alkane is via the radical halogenation reaction. And we know that the radical halogenation reaction is always going to put the halogen onto the more substituted carbon, which means that it's going to be this and not that molecule as my actual predecessor, which means that I have my synthesis all planned out and I can now execute all of my steps. So my step number 1 is going to be radical halogenation with bromine with a high temperature or light, which is going to give me the corresponding bromide. Then I'm going to perform an elimination reaction with a small base to make sure that I'm getting my Zaitsev products. So let's say we're going to take our tertiary alkyl halide here and we're going to treat it with sodium ethoxide, giving us our methyl cyclopentane. Then we're going to do the hydroboration-oxidation reaction, which is going to be a two-step process, and in the first step we're going to react our alkene with a borane in usually THF or other ether-like solvent, and then we're going to oxidize our intermediate with hydrogen peroxide and basic media, which is going to put OH onto the less substituted carbon of our alkene. Next, we are going to do the oxidation. This is a secondary alcohol, and it doesn't matter how we are going to oxidize our secondary alcohol, any oxidation method is going to give us a ketone, so we can choose whatever we want. For the simplicity's sake, I'm going to do this oxidation with the Jones reagent in the form of chromic acid, giving me a corresponding ketone. Then I'm going to perform my Grignard reaction, in the first step treating my ketone with methyl magnesium bromide, followed up of course by the acidic work workup, giving me the corresponding alcohol, and at that point I have created my new carbon-carbon bond over here. Then we are going to perform a simple E1 style elimination, or an alcohol dehydration if you want to call it this way, making a corresponding alkene, and finally we are going to reduce that alkene with hydrogen and palladium to give us our target molecule. This synthesis ended up being a little bit long. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 synthetic steps, so it is a little bit longer than what we would normally expect for a synthesis of this sort on the exam, although it really depends on your instructor, of course. This particular synthesis was inspired by one of the practice questions that I saw in one of the textbooks, so I wouldn't be surprised if you actually saw something like that on the final. Could we do it more efficiently? Oh, absolutely we could, but that would involve chemistry that you haven't covered yet or do not cover within the scope of a sophomore organic chemistry in general, so within the scope of our knowledge here, that is probably as efficient as it can be. And that's all I have for you for today. Thank you for watching till the very end. If you learned something new today, please hit that like button to help promote this video and help more students see it. Subscribe to the channel for daily organic chemistry updates. Watch this video next, and I will see you tomorrow.